Every gardener knows that the secret to healthy, productive vegetables isn't just the seed or the season, it's the soil that makes all the difference. Yet many still rely on store-bought bags that promise results but fall short when it comes to long-term fertility and structure. If you want vegetables that taste rich, roots that grow deep, and beds that stay fertile season after season, the real solution is to build soil mixes yourself. Homemade soil blends allow you to control texture, nutrients, and biology. And once you know the right recipes, your raised beds and garden rows will deliver stronger growth than any pre-packaged product. Good vegetable garden soil starts with structure. Healthy soil for vegetables needs the right balance of, well, three things: drainage, organic matter, and mineral content. If the soil is too sandy, water disappears before plants can use it, and if it's too clay-heavy, roots suffocate, and honestly, growth just stalls. The structure of a good homemade recipe solves this by balancing coarse material for drainage with humus-rich matter for water holding and nutrition. A simple starting ratio is 1 part coarse material like sand or perlite, 2 parts finished compost, and 1 part loam or topsoil. This mix gives vegetables both the airspace they need for root growth and the organic matter to keep them fed. When blending at home, mix in small batches first. A wheelbarrow is the perfect place to test ratios before filling entire beds. Wet the soil slightly as you combine, then squeeze a handful. It should clump lightly but break apart with a tap of the finger. If it sticks like clay, you need more coarse material. If it falls apart like dust, add more compost. This quick test saves time and disappointment when plants are in the ground. Compost is the backbone of every recipe. Compost provides the life, the food, and the texture that vegetables thrive in. For every 10 gallons of soil mix, add at least 4 gallons of mature compost. This may sound heavy, but vegetables are hungry feeders, and compost ensures a steady flow of nutrients. Leaf mold, worm castings, and kitchen scrap compost can all be combined, you know? If you only have one source, just balance it by mixing in a cup of rock dust or wood ash for minerals. For example, if you are preparing a 3 by 6 foot raised bed that holds about 12 cubic feet of soil, aim to include at least 4 cubic feet of compost in that mix. Blend it through, not just on top, because roots explore the entire depth of the bed. If you only layer compost on the surface, deeper roots may still struggle in poor structure. Beyond compost and loam, vegetables benefit from a touch of mineral balancing. Homemade soil recipes often overlook this step, but it's the difference between average growth and bumper harvests. Now, adding just a small amount of crushed eggshells or garden lime, well, it really helps to balance the acidity and adds calcium. This is absolutely crucial for preventing blossom end rot in tomatoes and peppers. Usually 1 cup per cubic foot is sufficient, so you don't need to go overboard. Wood ash is another powerful amendment, and it's rich in potassium as well as trace minerals. Just a handful for every gallon of compost mixed into the soil is plenty. Too much ash can raise pH too high, so it should be sprinkled sparingly and always mixed thoroughly. For nitrogen, especially if compost is still maturing, a few handfuls of alfalfa meal or well-aged manure per bed jumpstart the fertility. One of the best homemade additions you can make is worm castings. They may not make up the bulk of the mix, but even a small percentage creates a big difference. A ratio of 1 part worm castings to 10 parts soil mix gives vegetables access to beneficial microbes and plant-ready nutrients. For a standard 5-gallon bucket of soil, adding 2 to 3 quarts of worm castings is ideal. This is especially useful when starting seeds or transplanting young vegetables, since castings encourage fast, healthy root development. Even the best homemade soil recipes won't last long if left bare. After planting, top your soil with mulch to preserve moisture and protect microbial life. Straw shredded leaves or even a layer of grass clippings help maintain the structure you worked hard to create. Over winter or between crops, sowing a simple cover crop such as clover or vetch keeps nutrient cycling and prevents compaction. This ensures that when you return to the bed next season, the soil is already lively and ready to support another round of vegetables without rebuilding from scratch. After years of refining, one reliable recipe that works for most vegetables is as follows: 2 parts finished compost, 1 part loam or native soil, 1 part coarse sand or perlite, a ½ part worm castings, and, well, a light scattering of minerals such as a cup of crushed eggshells and a handful of wood ash per wheelbarrow load. This mix balances nutrition, texture, and biology. It's forgiving enough for beginners and effective enough for experienced gardeners who want consistent results. The key is consistency. Whether you're filling a new raised bed or refreshing an old one, aim for the same ratios so your plants never face sudden shifts in fertility or structure. With time, this mix grows stronger, not weaker, because the soil life builds upon itself. Homemade soil recipes are more than just a replacement for bags from the garden centre. They're living systems that you control and honestly improve with every season. When you know what to mix and how to balance the parts, your garden produces not just one good harvest, but a cycle of fertility that lasts for years. If this guide gave you useful insights into building your own vegetable garden soil, make sure to subscribe to Soil Doctor for more practical methods that improve soil health naturally. Share this with fellow gardeners so they can stop wasting money on weak-bagged soil and start building their own rich recipes that last a lifetime.